And welcome back to yet another episode of Data Analytics and Sports. It has been a hot second, but with school finally over, I'm finally able to find the time in my day to sit down for 15, 20 minutes and record a podcast episode. But jumping right into it, probably going to cover the Bears drafting Justin Fields later. I have not watched any Justin Fields tape. Very, very little Ohio State games, frankly, because I had no clue that we would even come close to being able to draft a quarterback. I thought the Broncos were going to take him for sure. I don't know why the hell they didn't, but I'll probably do that on a different day just because I don't think I'm well equipped enough to handle talking about Justin Fields quite yet. I feel like I don't know enough about him. I don't know. I haven't seen his mechanics. I don't know how he handles zone versus man. I don't like hell. I've seen this guy throw maybe like 30 footballs. That's not enough for me to talk about him. But if you want to know, talk or go see like Strong Opinion Sports, or just please, dear God, don't watch Nick Wright and his trash ass takes about Nikola Jokic and the MVP. But anyway, moving on from that, I really wanted to talk about my current All NBA teams at least, because I think it's there's so much talent in this league now. It's kind of scary, and it's like there's so many really good players, like great players who are having bad seasons. Not bad seasons, but they're not doing they ain't doing too hot, so to speak. And then there's just so many, like, who possibly could have imagined that like Joel Embiid would be playing so good and then get like he was my MVP choice. He was going to be the MVP. 29, almost 30 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, block and a half, and a steal. Only 3 turnovers. Like, I don't know. It's been this is the single weirdest NBA season of all time. I think maybe slightly behind the one with the bubble. At least this is the weirdest regular season. I love the play-in tournament. I don't know why other people hate it. Quite frankly, I think that was a genius idea, genius move. And I think this has been said, and everyone's going to keep saying it, but it's obvious the reason LeBron and Luka don't like the play-in tournament and Steph is because they're in the play-in tournament. And you know how you don't get in the play-in tournament? You win more games. It's just kind of how it goes. You know, if the Lakers don't want to be in the play-in tournament, win more than 38 games. I didn't expect that to be such a hot take, but I guess it is. Maybe they should, I was going to say maybe, I've been tossing it back and forth whether or not they should change it to where like, because if you're going to have a play-in tournament, if you're going to have the lower seeds play in, it should really go by wins across the NBA, not just by league. I guess, I don't know. Maybe I've been tossing that one back and forth, but regardless, I like it. I think the fact that it gives a 10 seed the possibility to make the play, because then they're not going to tank. There's no point in tanking. You don't lose your lottery odds if you lose, I think. Tank or don't tank. Just try to make the play-in game. If you're like the Spurs or the Grizzlies, you still have a chance. If you 35 wins now, 33 or 35 wins now, 68 games into the season has the potential to get you into the playoffs. I think that's great. I think that's great. East, I don't know if we need more Eastern Conference playoffs, but you know what? I'll take it. But going back to the original topic at hand that I wanted to talk about, all NBA teams. This was tough, especially the first team. I think is obvious. I don't think I'm going to get any backlash on the first team, but who I left off, I think, is that was truly like the hardest part of all of this. This was tough. This was a tough all NBA teams to come up with. I'll just jump into it. Okay. So I have Steph Curry. This is my first team. Steph Curry, who is second in MVP voting. I don't give a shit what Nick Wright thinks. It's not Chris Paul. Chris Paul is not top 2. It's Steph Curry number 2, although I guess the record isn't great, but still. Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, Kawhi, Giannis, and Jokic. Those are my 5. I think the only 2, maybe the only 3, but the only 2 that I will not negotiate on is Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic. Those 2, you cannot look me in the eyes and tell me that they do not belong on first team. Everyone else, really, I think could be moved around. Doncic, I might swap out for CP3. Kawhi Leonard, Jason Tatum, maybe. Giannis, no, I feel like Giannis is there. And, quick note, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, and LeBron, I don't think have played enough games If LeBron has played enough game, if LeBron had played more games, I think I cut him off at like 50. Just, I mean, you could argue he's played enough games, but for me, I just was like, okay, you have to have played 50 out of the 68 games in order to qualify for this. So that leaves off Kevin Durant, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. And Kyrie's played 51, but I just took him off just because that would just add another whole ass wrinkle into this system. Oh shit, I forgot about Harden. Ooh, where do I put Harden? Okay, well, Harden's not first team, so that's good. I can always make amends later. But so Curry, Doncic, Kawhi, Giannis, Jokic. Second team, I have Chris Paul, Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, Julius Randle, Joel Embiid. CP3, I feel like he could move up. I might swap him with Doncic just because the Suns have, I believe, the second best record in the league, 48 wins, 70% win percentage. They were a borderline bubble team. They bubble team did not make the playoffs. They were so bad in the regular season that they won every single game in the bubble and they missed the playoffs. They add Chris Paul and they have the second best record in the NBA or in the Western Conference. Yeah, and in the NBA. Second best record in the NBA. That is ridiculous. Damian Lillard, I don't know. I don't know. Now that I think about it, he's had a pretty roller coaster of a season. The Trailblazers are not good. Well, they're good enough to win 40 games, which is somehow more than both the Lakers and the Warriors. And honestly, only one more win than the Mavericks at the fifth seed. So they're the sixth seed right now. They're not even in the play-in game. I don't know why now, and tangent, but I don't know why now everyone's like, oh, are they going to trade Damian Lillard? This is where they've been for the past 5 years. Like between like they could be as high as a 3 seed, they could be as low as like a 7 seed. Like they're just always in that range. And Damian Lillard's still giving you like 28, 6, and 3. You know, he's really good. I don't think that can be debated. The Trailblazers just are sort of underachieving with where you would like to see them with a somewhat healthy use of Nurkic. Although, God damn it, I don't think he'll ever be healthy. And CJ McCollum's been great. Robert Covington is a little disappointing. Anthony Simons didn't make the jump I thought he would. Nasir Little is almost out of the rotation. This team is an enigma. They won 4 in a row somehow, and yet they're still only the 6th seed. I don't know. I think the more I think about it, the more I might move Lillard to the 3rd team, put Harden on the 2nd team, and unfortunately that would make Devin Booker no longer be on an All-NBA team, which I'm not super upset about. Yeah, I'm going to go CP3, Harden, Tatum, Randle, Embiid. Randle, I'm not going to argue this. Randle's an all NBA caliber player. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not. They're the 4 seed. He's the best player on one of the best defenses in the league. 38 wins. The Knicks have been a laughing stock for over a decade, and this guy somehow got them to the 4 seed. I mean, obviously, all hail Tom Thibodeau, but you cannot look me in the eyes and tell me that he is not an all NBA caliber player, at least for this season. I don't know how the rest of his career will project, but for this season, come on, look at him. Look at this team. The only thing they don't do very well is pass. His defense took a massive jump. His shooting off the dribble took a massive jump. Everything about his game just escalated to the point where now he's the best player on a top 4 seed. You know how bad I wish my Chicago Bulls had a player that could lead us to a top 4 seed. I mean, he's got a great supporting cast. Mitchell Robinson, RJ. Can we talk about RJ Barrett? Look at that improvement. I remember, God, I was so wrong about RJ Barrett. I thought he would be not a bust, but I thought like at best like a role player, like Rodney Hood. I thought he'd be like Rodney Hood. You know, like he'd be, you know, if he caught fire, he's like lefty, super athletic. Or I guess Rodney Hood isn't incredibly athletic, but I thought he would be like a more athletic Rodney Hood. And like I was like, yeah, of anyone who's going to be the Andrew Wiggins of this draft class, it was with the Zion, Ja Morant. I was like, it's going to be him. There's no way. I mean, I just don't see it. I didn't like it. I was like, yeah, he'll be good. You know, he'll be Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins, very, very good. But he's not MVP. He's not all-star. He's not all-NBA. No. Not Julius Randle. RJ Barrett has been crazy good this year. Crazy good this year. I can't even Just the jump everyone on this Knicks team has taken. Derrick Rose is good. Derrick Rose, good. I didn't think I'd be saying that in 2021, but hey, here we are. Look at this Knicks team. I love watching this Knicks team. The Knicks are probably they're one of at least the four most fun teams in the league. I think. I think the Sixers are probably my favorite team to watch. I'm gonna exclude the Bulls because I'm a fan of them. The Sixers number one, Suns number two. Maybe the I don't really like watching Luka or Trey Young. They're both kind of unwatchable. Maybe the Warriors, but they're right there. They are right there. Anyway, CP3, Harden, Tatum, Randall, Embiid. I haven't actually looked up how many games that James Harden has played this year. I wonder if he's played a lot of games. I because that's if he has not played more than 50, then that would really help me out here. Oh, oh no, he's only played 42 this year. Okay, goodbye Harden. That makes my life a lot easier. So yeah, Lillard is the second team then. Sorry Harden, I love you, but not really. Don't go to as many strip clubs. That's my advice for James Harden. That is it's A tier advice, I like to think. And people wonder why Miami wouldn't have won it. Well, that was stupid. They wouldn't have given up Tyler Hero for him. I mean, he would have partied his ass off in Miami. I mean, who wouldn't? You know, if I'm going to Miami, good luck stopping me. You know, if I'm willing to do it in the suburbs of Chicago, I'm willing to do it in Miami. So can't really blame the guy. Don't get strip clubs though. They seem dirty. They seem weird. I don't like strip clubs. But you know what? Teach their own. Maybe if I had $40 million, my opinions would change. Although I'm willing to bet they wouldn't. Good for him though. So CP3, Lillard, Tatum, Randall, Embiid. That's my five. Embiid was my MVP until he got hurt. Um, shit, how many games has he played? No, he's played enough. No, he's only played 49. Ooh, ooh. See, this is it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Okay, goodbye, Embiid. Oh, there we go. Boom. We move Gobert up to the second seed or the second All NBA team. And hello, Bam Adebayo. Unless you also missed a lot of games, Bam. I swear to God. You know how much I love me some Bam Adebayo. Phew. Okay, we're good. Wow, he's playing almost every. Oh my God. Look at Bam. Oh, what a stud. Hashtag heat propaganda. So, okay, Gobert. Gobert's now on my second team. He's my defensive player of the year. I've there was that one video of him getting clowned by Devin Booker because he like got crossed up by Devin Booker, and it's like, well, yeah, everyone's gotten crossed up by fucking Devin Booker. Like you're gonna get crossed up by him, and then like that, and then he just like immediately like swatted a shot by him, and everyone was like, I'm gonna forget about that. But you know what I am gonna do? I'm gonna focus on him getting crossed up. You know how elite of a perimeter defender he is as a center. It's stupid, but yeah, he's my second team. I don't think there's going to be any pushback with Gobert there. Third team, Westbrook on a tear, Booker, Butler, Jimmy Butler, Zion, and Bam. I think Butler can go as a two or a three. I think he's eligible to also be voted on as a guard. Yeah, I put him here. I think he's having the most underrated defensive season. Like people are coming and they're like, oh my God, Ben Simmons, defensive player of the year. Like, no, it's not Gobert. It's Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is so good. If you look at some of the shooting stats, like opponent shooting stats for Jimmy Butler, it is like look at all he's in like the top 10th of the first percentile, like of just being an insanely good wing defender. Oh, you know who else? Oh no, okay. Him, Jimmy Butler, I think would go over Ben Simmons in my opinion, and then also a guy like OG Anunoby. Oh my God, is he good? Holy Jesus. Like, we're going to see OG, Mikal Bridges, Miles Bridges, both the Bridges. That's funny. Like these three role players, not those three. Like, I mean, three. When I say three, I mean like small forward, like point guard one, shooting guard two, small forward three. Like the three like players that are just absurdly good defensively. Like, there's going to be a boom of those players. And we're going to see Mikal, Miles, OG's already on a really great contract. Jaylen Brown, even I throw him in there. They are just going to be like such a hot commodity. Everyone's going to be like, when they're like in like that 10 to 15 range in the draft or like 10 and past. And if they're going to be like, is he the next Mikal Bridges or Miles Bridges? Like, I would not feel bad at all paying one of those guys like $20 to $25 million. Easy. I think you get him for a steal. Matisse Thybulle would be that too if he was a little better offensively. But I digress. Jimmy Butler, third team All NBA, should be getting more love for the Defensive Player of the Year vote alongside Bam Adebayo, which this Heat team, Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, they're so hit or miss. They have no good defensive pieces. Trevor Ariza and Andre Iguodala are so far past their prime. They're serviceable defenders. They're not good defenders. And just also Trevor Ariza, he looks like he weighs 85 pounds soaking wet. Like that dude is 6'9", 115 pounds. I don't understand it. But when you look at this Heat team, if you swap out Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo for average defenders, this team is shit. This team is giving up 175 points to they'll give up 175 points to the bad boy Pistons or the 2004 Pistons. Like, no, it's ridiculous. Butler literally can guard, and I know like everyone loves to use that thing with LeBron where it's like, oh, he can guard 1 through 5. Yeah, but he's not asked to guard 1 through 5. Jimmy Butler is asked to guard 1 through 5. He is, and he's just so, and Bam too. They're just so good. Zion, I want him to take that next step so bad. I want him to take that next step so bad, and he just isn't. He's so good and he's so fun to watch, but he's just. I'm waiting with Zion. I'm waiting for the Steph Curry Knicks game. I'm waiting for that to happen to Zion, because when that does, oh boy, he's gonna be good. Oh, he's gonna be so good. And then there's Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball is. I don't know how I feel about him. He's the same with Brandon Ingram. Like, have we already seen the best of Zion, or not Zion, of Brandon Ingram and Lonzo? Like, is this the best they're going to get? Because if so, they're very good players. A little redundant. A non-shooting point guard who specializes in passing, that's good. You know, great defensive point guard. It just feels like this whole roster around Zion is just built wrong. Steven Adams instead of stretch 5. I don't know. You got to build around him like you would a Giannis, because they're both absurdly gifted athletic power forwards who can't really shoot. They can shoot, but they only shoot to keep you honest. They don't shoot to go in. They just shoot to be like, oh, you have to guard me, so that when next play, when there's a double screen coming up at half court and our point guard is going to the right and they're going to open up a passing lane for the big man as they cut and roll, they do like the old, double screen on the point guard. They turn around, they screen the big man. Next thing you know, you got a 3 or a 4 guarding a big man, and he's barreling down the lane at 20 miles per hour, and that's when you hit him. But that only works if you have a guy who somewhat has to guard the 4 and the 2. And the only way that happens is if Zion and Giannis are respected behind the 3-point line, and that is not the case for either of them, really. So you need a 5 that can shoot, and you need a 1 that can shoot. You need a 1. The Trailblazers are never going to trade Damian Lillard, but if they do, please, dear God, Pelicans. They're not going to trade him to the Pelicans. They're not going to trade him, and they're not going to trade him to the Pelicans. No way. Lonzo Ball's not a hot commodity anymore. I take that back. Trailblazers would not get a good haul for Damian Lillard from the Pelicans. I mean, they would, but it's not one that I would accept. But so Zion, Westbrook broke the record for all-time triple doubles. Come on. And Booker, I needed to have a second son because they have the second best record in the league. And it just seems like he's continuously the most underrated player in the league. Personally, I hate players where all they do is score. The only thing they give you is scoring. If they're not scoring, they suck. Booker I am so tired of people calling him that player. He is not even close to that kind of player. Booker is so much more than just a guy that can score. He can pass, he can facilitate. He's a cutter. Like, he has remnants of like the ability to like just so explosive, and the body control. He's a less athletic Dwayne Wade when he's cutting. And honestly, I know that doesn't sound great because Dwayne Wade really needed his athleticism, but the body control, his layup package is incredible. He shoots a good mid-range shot. Like, I know everything I'm talking about is scoring, but when I say all they do is scoring, I'm talking about like a Trae Young. I'm not talking about a James Harden, who's one of the best passers in the league. I'm talking about Trae Young, who, if he's not getting to the free throw line, he sucks. Booker is so good. I think, oh my God, I remember I used to think Trae Young was so underrated. And I still somewhat think he is. He's an all-star. He's going to average like 25 plus points every single season. Pair that with like anywhere between like 7 and 11 assists. He's going to be great. But I just don't think people are giving Devin Booker enough credit where I think he genuinely is 5, 10, 15. He's one of the 15 best players. He's one of the 50, like easily. Two guards, forget about it. Just missed it. Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young, Jeremy Grant, Nikola Vucevic, Bam Adebayo did not almost just miss it. Jaylen Brown and oh crap, I forgot to write this one down. Who is it? I was just talking about them when I was talking about Booker. Ja Morant, he just missed it. Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr., although he has not played nearly enough games. He just got back from his torn meniscus. Cat just missed it. D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball. Bunch of players just missed it. I think that's it. Yeah, Domantas Sabonis, I think, which Pacers got to do something about that with Domantas Sabonis. He's a center. He's not a power forward. I like that they're trying new things. I genuinely like their coach. I don't know why they're already trying to get rid of their coach, but yeah. Oh, Brad Beal. That's who it is. Bradley Beal. He just missed the cut. He's going to come in second to the scoring title to Steph Curry. And I still think he won't make an All-NBA team. I love Bradley Beal, but holy mother of God, are people overrating him so much. Oh, my God. He's good. He's an all-star. He's not all NBA caliber. I love him. I love Bradley Beal. He's not an all NBA caliber player. So I know this is a hot take, but he is not all NBA material. He's very, very good material, but people are talking about him. I remember with like the Heat and the Nets and like the Bucks, all these teams are like, oh my God, we need Brad Beal. And it's like the packages that some people are throwing out there to get him are like, whoa, that's the shit you throw to get like a cat, like a Karl Anthony Towns, not a C-A-T, capital K, capital A, capital T. That's what you go to get for like Karl Anthony Towns. Like he's getting closer to, he's getting closer to what the Bucks had to give up for Drew Holiday than what the Nets gave up for James Harden. The days, like I know people, like I remember when Jimmy Butler got traded, it was a future first, a pick swap, and Chris Dunn, Zach LaVine. Well, no, it was Chris Dunn, Zach LaVine, and I think in a pick swap, and that's it. And I remember thinking like, okay, that was shit. That was awful. And now we've swung so far in the other direction. Like it used to just be, here are a bunch of players. Now it's here are a bunch of picks. And I just think if you're a team that wants Brad Beal, you're not going to give up all those picks. You're not going to give up all those picks, and you're not going to give up all those players. You're not going to give up a young player and picks to go get Beal. Beal's a great player. He is phenomenal. He can score, he can pass, he can kind of defend. But he's the second best player on a team that's the 10 seed in the East. The East. They're the 10 seed, and he's their second best player, and he's having the best season he's ever going to have this year, and they're the 10 seed. Like, Devin Booker is the second best player on a team, and they're the 2 seed in the West. Okay? Paul George is the second best player on a team. They're the 3rd seed. Jamal Murray was the second best player, and they were the 4th seed. I understand the Wizards have injuries, they have issues, they don't have a really good coach, they don't have a good defensive 5. Denny Avdija didn't really play a whole lot, and it's not that he's bad, but he's just not that good. Rui needs a couple other years, although I'm still very high on him. And it just seems like, it's like Kristaps is the second best player. Mavs are the 5 seed. It's just, in a really, really weird year. When Gordon Hayward is the second best player on the Hornets, sometimes the best player, along with it can be LaMelo, Miles Bridges, or Gordon Hayward. When that's your big 3 and you're the 8 seed, I would have expected the Wizards to be a 4 seed, if I'm being completely honest. To be a 10 seed, I hate the argument of using wins to invalidate the player's ability to perform, scoring, defensively, whatever. And I don't think that I am going to think any less of Kyle Lowry because they're the 12 seed. But when we're not talking about giving up the farm for Kyle Lowry. Some of these trade packages for Bradley Beal are ridiculous. I understand, like, he's the kind of guy where he's your favorite player's favorite player. He is not the difference between an okay playoff team and winning a championship. He's not that guy, and people so often make the mistake of seeing a guy like Bradley Beal, who's very, very good, but he just never swings the pendulum to the point where you're great. Pelicans made the same mistake with Drew Holiday. They saw Anthony Davis and they're like, this guy is so good. Let's get Drew Holiday now. Let's give up a couple of lottery picks right now and get a borderline guy in Drew Holiday. And they never got better than okay. And that's what's going to happen if someone gives up the farm for Bradley Beal. And they're going to have to give up more to get Bradley Beal. I think they gave up 2 lottery protected picks to the 76ers to get Drew Holiday. They're going to have to give up like 4 friggin' picks, a couple of second rounders, and a young player to get Bradley Beal. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to suck. They're going to be really, really bad. How many teams really could use his services? Trailblazers, no. I'm sure the Lakers could, but the Lakers are already good. Again, it's a weird season. The Lakers are injured. They're constantly getting injured. The Warriors? No, the Warriors don't need him. Maybe the Mavericks. Nuggets, I'm sure, would like him. Clippers, sure. Why not throw him in there? But all the teams, like, there's just so many teams. Like, if he went to, like, the Timberwolves or the Thunder or the Magic or the Raptors or the Cavs, is he turning a bad franchise around, or is he just like icing on an already good cake? I don't know. Gosh, I could be completely wrong. Maybe, who knows? Maybe he goes to I don't know, the Grizzlies or the Spurs or the Pelicans. Yeah, what if he goes to the Pelicans? Maybe they go from like the 11th seed this year, and next year they're like a 4 seed. And I eat my words. I wouldn't be shocked. Pelicans have good trade assets. I wouldn't be surprised. They have a bunch of first-round picks. They have an all-star in Brandon Ingram and a really solid starting player in Lonzo Ball. Anything is possible, but I just think I left them off, and that was the hardest thing to do. But I just feel like Westbrook and Booker and Chris Paul and Damian Lillard and Steph Curry and Luka Doncic are all having just better seasons. But that's my all NBA list. And I thank you all very much for listening / watching. Well, I guess not watching. You're listening, but thank you.